Hey guys, it's RodimusPrimal. I am back with another video, and today I'm going to be giving you guys my breakdown and analysis for the most recently revealed trailer for the War for Cybertron trilogy's Earthrise cartoon that is set to air on Netflix on December 30th. This is going to be filled with a lot of spoilers, so I'm going to give you down my breakdown, my analysis, and what I think about it. So if you don't want to be spoiled, you might want to take a look at maybe this retrospective right here. So let's get things started. So without further ado, let's sit back, relax, make sure you're subscribed to the channel, and let's transform and roll out. Consider supporting the channel on Patreon, becoming a channel member, or purchasing some merch on my Teespring store today. Okay, so the trailer starts right off with, we see that Double Dealer has captured the Autobots and is bringing them to what is revealed to be a Quintesson. And the thing here is, I'm really curious as to what the Quintesson's goal is in the show. Are they going to try and merge some of the different continuities of Quintessons together? Or is this going to try and, stick closer to the original G1 cartoon and maybe mix some things in with the creation of the Transformers and how the Quintessons are responsible, which is a video that I probably should redo at some time in the future. We get to see Elita 1 on Cybertron along with Red Alert and Jetfire as they are trying to survive on Cybertron, and I'm guessing that the events that are taking place are happening, in tandem. It's all happening around the same time. We don't know how much time has passed between the end of Siege and when Earthrise begins. What we do know is that Megatron is basically leading the charge to try and find the Ark, which is something that if you've been looking at the package art for Earthrise, you can kind of already see some of the stuff that they've revealed with it. And we hear an ominous voice telling us that the future is not yet written, which is something that makes me think about what could possibly be either time travel or alternate reality in how they're going to bring everything together. We see Optimus Prime with the Ion Blaster from Earthrise, along with a backpack on his back, but it's the Siege robot mode model. So, because obviously they haven't gone to Earth yet as they step through a portal, which is kind of interesting to see. What we're probably going to see is the Autobots are trying to escape the Quintesson somehow. Maybe there might be some alternate reality time travel involved. Maybe it's some dimension warping. I'm curious if this is going to be like a Crisis on Infinite Cybertrons in the way that everything is going to merge together. Now we had a dark, ominous presence of none other than Nemesis Prime. And I think this is a really cool reveal, how they did it in the trailer. And I'm hoping that it's still that they haven't revealed everything in the show yet, because showing us Nemesis Prime is really cool. And I hope that he is a dark clone of Optimus somehow and is not Optimus himself, but we'll see how that plays out. And finally, we do get to see Optimus Prime and Megatron do clash at some point in the show. I am guessing that Megatron is going to end up pursuing the Ark after the events of Siege. He's going to finally catch up with him. They're going to face off against each other. Optimus is going to grow as a character, at least we hope so. We also get to see some flashbacks of Megatron back in his gladiatorial days, and I think that model is Impactor. I could be wrong. I'm just trying to analyze which robot that he is kicking here. But it means that we're going to get a lot more storytelling that we did not have enough time for in Siege, which is something really important, because a lot of complaints from Siege were the fact that some of the storytelling elements were just kind of like loosely touched upon and weren't expanded upon enough for people to really grasp all the concepts that were happening. And we hear a strange voice telling, I think that it's Megatron, telling him to kill Optimus Prime and take the Matrix for himself, which is a really weird suggestion coming from whomever this is. And we see whomever this is beating the crap out of Megatron. Megatron literally tells him, He doesn't trust him. So who is it? Who is this person who is meeting with Megatron? It is none other than Galvatron. That's right, they're bringing Galvatron into the War for Cybertron trilogy cartoon. We kind of got a glimpse of this in the package art for Earthrise, and from what I'm taking a guess is that either this Galvatron is from a future timeline or it's from an alternate dimension. Either way, this is future Megatron as Galvatron. And again, if you're not familiar with the character of who Galvatron is, be sure to check out my retrospective on this character, because there's a lot to him, and there was enough to basically make 4 or 5 retrospectives out of Galvatron alone. But, you know, I'm really curious as how, you know, this is going to be the first time that we're going to see a G1 styled Megatron meet a G1 styled Galvatron in animated form, because it did happen in the Marvel comics. First it happened in the UK, and then it happened again later on in the US run with a second Galvatron from another timeline. So I'm curious as to where this all leads to. Of course, the big reveal is Unicron, and we kind of knew that Unicron was coming because we know that the toy is coming, and this is a great reveal right here. A good screenshot of him in planet mode to see Unicron in all his glory. I'm wondering if we're going to actually see him like munching down on planets or something. We're probably going to see him transform. My guess is that Unicron comes from an alternate timeline and he brings Galvatron with him. That is my guess as to where the storyline is going to go. And it is I'm guessing that Unicron himself is going to be the key to what happens with Kingdom, as we're going to see a timeline crossover with Beast Wars. So I'm really curious as to how that's all going to play out, and I'm sure that Unicron's going to play a part in it. But now we see a powered up Megatron. So I'm wondering if, because of Galvatron's presence, that maybe Megatron gets a power-up that gives him enough power to team up with Galvatron and be able to destroy the Autobots. Or maybe Galvatron's plan is to try and get Unicron off of his back by giving power to Megatron. I don't know. I'm just taking, this is all pure speculation as to where this is going to go. And with that brings us to the end of the trailer. And I gotta say, I am just as excited as I was when I first saw some of the Siege trailers. I'm cautiously optimistic. I know a lot of people liked Siege. I know a lot of people didn't like Siege. So it gives me it's basically a middle ground as far as how that cartoon played out and how this second chapter will go. It looks to be a major improvement upon what the first part was, but there are still things that I know people are going to point out. Some of the voice acting, is good, and some of the voice acting is not. Some of the animation does seem a little bit clunky in places, but they are trying to bring everything together into this cartoon, and it looks to be very exciting, and it looks to be a lot better than the first part was. So I do look forward to it, but I am cautiously optimistic. It's the best that I can be, because at the end of the day, if you really think about it, we've seen really bad Transformers cartoons. This was not the worst, and we have seen some of the best Transformers cartoons, and we know this doesn't seem to be the best one out there, but it's really trying to make a decent show. And I'm hoping that this second chapter blows our socks off and does something amazing and does something awesome with the limitations that we understand that they have. So, but I want to know what you guys think about this. What do you think about the Transformers War for Cybertron Earthrise trailer? Of course, leave your thoughts in the comments section below. Be sure to thumbs up this video and subscribe. Check out my other videos as well. I have some reviews, a retro playback coming soon, some retrospectives before Christmas, and a lot more coming down the pipeline for the channel. So stay tuned for all that. And as always, guys, until next time, till all are one.